In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the sales from last month. We did around $25,000 sales in our eBay store, and more on that in a minute. First, I want to touch on the power of consistency in our eBay store. Consistency in our eBay store led to us expanding and getting this warehouse here and moving to be able to manage more items as we continue to grow our eBay store. So let's jump into the warehouse here and show you what we have going on, and then we'll touch on the top sales from last month. Let's get into it. All right, so what we have behind me is the photo station that I just set up real quick, and just really wanting to stress the importance of having different stations in your eBay store. Not only is it going to help you be more efficient as a reseller, but it's going to help you speed up the process of taking all of these photos of all of these clothes, getting them here on this board, and then setting them here when they're finished. So then you can be able to list them at your listing station and then put them away in your inventory station. So getting these stations as close as possible and getting them set up so you're not having to break it down, set it back up every time you're having to take photos. You just wanted a seamless, streamlined production process so you can maximize your results. Our time is so precious, so why do we want to spend more time than we need listing items on eBay? All right, so let's jump into the computer here where I could go over some of our sales for the last month, as we did over $25,000 in sales for the month, and I'm going to be breaking down how much was profit, how much was cost of goods, and how much we paid in shipping. So let's jump right into it and check out what we got going on. So we did $25,000 in sales. We sold 683 items for an average sales price of $36.63. That is actually down. And the reason why it's down is because we had moved. And when we moved, I stopped listing for a week. For the first time in over a year of listing every day on eBay, I wanted to see what has happened to our store in that week of not listing. I was looking forward to taking a break. I was looking forward to focusing on getting this inventory moved from point A to point B the right and correct way. I didn't want to have to worry about listing on eBay. All I did was continue to ship out orders every day, and I wanted to make sure that everything was organized in the new inventory space. So that is why I took a week off. So our sales did take a dip. We went from about $7,500 a week in sales to the week where I didn't list anything, we sold about $5,000. So still, the power of listing every day was the key, consistent key to being able to make a move like this and being able to continue to grow our eBay store. Without listing every day in your store, it's hard to get those consistent sales every day in your eBay store. So consider listing every day. So we did about net sales was about $14,800, and we spent about $9,000 in selling costs. So mainly we're selling a lot of jackets. In that storage unit I bought out in June, I'll put a video up here where it goes more in detail on how I went about that process. But these storage units had over 500 jackets, brand new with tags. Wilson's Leather, Arc'teryx, Banana Republic, North Face, Carhartt. A lot of these jackets needed to be processed, put on racks right behind me, and listed on eBay. So we're selling tons of jackets, and that made up a majority of our sales for the last month. $3,000 in sales in jackets just last month. So going into our net, I want to talk about what exactly the breakdown is. My cost of goods for the year on eBay is $1.75 for the entire year. That's what I'm paying per item that I have purchased this year. So if you take that out, let's do 680. What was it? Let's just do 690 times 1.75. So $1,200 in cost. So here we have about $25,000 in sales at the top of the transaction summary. We put $1,000 in refunds, and then we had about $5,200 in shipping labels. Other fees was $1,300, and then payouts was $17,000 in payouts. So if you subtract the cost of goods, from the payouts, we're sitting at around 15,500, and that is not counting tax. So when you tax that, you're looking at maybe about $8,000 to $10,000 after tax. So the power of listing every day has led us for this expansion, and being able to manage these storage units and continue to list those items in our store and expand. Just really focusing on your systems and processes. I want to really stress on the importance of that. You have to have a system and process in place to be able to grow your eBay business. And I just want to mention, for just $1 a day, I offer eBay coaching. You can find it in the link down in the description below, where I work with you on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, for 1 hour a day via Zoom, helping you put that very same system in place that helped me reach over $100,000 in sales within my first year on eBay. So consider joining. Included in that, I do eBay store reviews upon joining, and I also have a reseller spreadsheet that can help you keep track of all of your expenses, all of your mileage, and all of those things that are very important to really figure out how much money you're actually making on eBay, because there's a lot of costs and fees that go into selling on eBay. So check it out. I'd love to work with you, and I'd love to see you there. Let's get right into what has sold just this last week, our top sales on eBay. So like I said, I found a lot of Arc'teryx jackets in that storage unit. This Arc'teryx jacket is a discontinued model made in 2006 called Patriot SV. So Patriot SV is discontinued. They don't make it anymore. I had listed it for $800, and I took a best offer of $500. I'm all about some of the money all the time rather than all of the money some of the time. So even though I had it listed for $800, I was willing to take that offer of $500 and reinvest that money back into our business. So if you ever find anything Arc'teryx, you pick it up. But if you ever find the specific model of Patriot SV jacket, you found something really special. So yeah, next sale was a bike. You know, I don't pick up bikes. I don't want to pick up bikes, but this bike was found in the storage unit, where I ended up costing about 80 cents per item in these storage units filled with thousands of items. And this was a vintage Cannondale made in USA bike. I won't particularly pick up bikes anytime in the future, but I did want to resell this just to kind of test my shipping abilities, and I didn't want to mismanage the resources that was the biggest blessing and part of this storage unit. So I just took the wheels off, took the handlebars off, took the seat off, and I was able to wrap the body in bubble wrap, and just being able to fit it inside of 2 U-Haul extra large boxes. It fit great, and it shipped to Nevada for $200. So the bike itself only cost $100, but the shipping was $200, and the buyer is happy. So yeah, if you want to do bikes, I recommend disassembling it and then figuring out a process on how you're going to be able to ship bike parts. Some bikes definitely have more value than others. So this next sale was a vintage Carhartt jacket made in USA. I listed it for $199, and it sold for $140. I took a best offer. I listed it on November 24th, and it sold just a few days ago, and even had a broken zipper. So it had a broken zipper right here, so on the pocket. But be on the lookout for anything Carhartt, but this one was vintage, so you might want to double check the tag and make sure if it's made in USA, you have something very special here. This is just a simple Carhartt barn jacket, fleece lined or flannel lined, and they sell upwards of like $250 to $300, and this one sold for a little lower because of that defect. So be on the lookout. Anything Carhartt, but double check the tag to make sure if it is made in USA. John Varvatos, also another brand to be picking up. Whatever it is, John Varvatos belts, John Varvatos shoelaces, John Varvatos pocket watches, whatever, pick up this brand because it is a higher end luxury brand. This was a cowhide bucket hat fedora made out of leather, I had it for $149, but I took a best offer of $100. And just be on the lookout for anything John Varvatos. such a good high quality brand to be looking out for. Also, these shoes had sold, Subo shoes. These were also part of the storage unit buyout. They sold for $89 plus $12.95 shipping. They are just a casual leather shoe, probably made in the early 2000s. And if you do see this brand, pick it up. It's not, super well known. These shoes had been listed for a couple months, so I would say this is more of a slower sell-through rate brand. But keep in the back of the mind is, like, if you're picking up more higher end items but not in so much demand, if you have the space, it is okay to wait 3 to 6 months to have that item in your inventory if you have the space to manage it. So if you want to know what else is selling in our eBay store and how we go about the process of shipping and what items that we're picking up when we go out sourcing, you can check out this video here where it goes more in detail on the items that we are selling right now and what we have been selling out of these storage units. And you can get familiar with some of the brands that we're picking up, so the next time you go out sourcing, you can find these items too.